I think crypto is as important of an invention as the birth of the internet.
Crypto capital of the planet.
Can be the tokenization of every financial asset.
That's a powerful idea.
You can make 20x up to 100x on all of your positions right now.
$1.5 million
Let's
by
go.
2030. Let's go.
The most ironic outcome would become that it becomes the global currency.
Welcome to another episode of the HODL My Beer Podcast. It's me, the Sky you love, and your host with the most, Brodhi. Today we are going to talk about the number 2 crypto in the game, Ethereum. Drumroll, please.
We're going deep on Ethereum today.
Deep, like spelunking deep.
Exactly. So if you're just looking for a quick overview, this might not be the episode for you. We're going full on crypto nerd here.
Yeah.
But if you really want to understand what makes Ethereum tick, why everyone's freaking out about these ETFs and where this whole thing could be headed,
Then yeah, you're in the right place.
all right, let's kick things off by rewinding back to 2013,
Back when Bitcoin was still a baby.
basically.
Huh.
So picture this. Vitalik Buterin, this like 19-year-old programming prodigy,
Total whiz kid.
he's playing World of Warcraft, right? And out of the blue, Blizzard decides to nerf his favorite character, make it weaker.
Ouch.
Yeah, totally devastating. But this is where things get interesting. Instead of just like raging quit, Vitalik starts thinking there's got to be a better way.
A way to create a world where one company or one entity doesn't have all the power.
And bam, the idea for Ethereum is born.
It's wild, right? Like, who would have thought a World of Warcraft nerf would lead to one of the most groundbreaking technologies of our time?
I know.
Okay, let me jump in real quick to give you a word from our sponsor. PKT is a media network powered by the people. It is an ecosystem of apps and platforms similar to Apple TV, but built on fully decentralized infrastructure. That means they cut the big tech and governments out, and it's powered by the global users. All you need is a computer to run the app, and you get paid daily rewards. They have a free webinar every Thursday, so you should join in and learn. Go to pkt.cash and join their Telegram. This is a major project to look out for. Use our code PKT-5-APR and you will get a 1% yield bonus. That's real money, baby. All right, now let's get back to the show.
Okay, so Ethereum launches in 2015, and it quickly gains traction because it's not just another cryptocurrency.
Nope, it's way more than that. It's a platform for building decentralized applications, or dApps, as the cool kids call them.
Right, like these are programs that run on the blockchain, so they're not controlled by any single entity.
Think of it like a decentralized internet.
Exactly. So Ethereum is all about creating this open, transparent, and permissionless ecosystem where anyone can participate.
And that's a really powerful concept, especially when you think about how centralized the internet has become.
Totally. But of course, no journey is without its bumps in the road. And for Ethereum, one of those bumps came in the form of the infamous DAO hack back in 2016. This was a major turning point.
For sure. It was like this wake-up call for the entire crypto community.
Okay, so the DAO, or Decentralized Autonomous Organization, was this basically this investment fund built on Ethereum.
And it was supposed to be this like revolutionary way to manage money in a decentralized way.
But then a hacker found a vulnerability in the code.
And they siphoned off millions of dollars worth of ETH.
Yeah, it was a huge blow to Ethereum's reputation.
It really highlighted the risks of smart contracts. Like, these things are immutable, right? Once they're deployed, you can't just go back and change them.
It's like setting a robot loose in the world and hoping it doesn't go rogue.
Exactly.
So the Ethereum community was faced with this, like, existential crisis. Do they stick to the whole code is law principle, even though it means accepting this massive loss? Or do they find a way to reverse the hack?
It was a tough decision, and it ultimately led to a split in the Ethereum community.
Right, because some people believed that the immutability of the blockchain was sacred,
And they forked off to create Ethereum Classic.
while the majority decided to, like, rewrite history and reverse the hack.
Which is the Ethereum we know and love today.
So yeah, the DAO hack was definitely a setback, but it also forced everyone to think more critically about the complexities and potential risks of this technology.
Totally.
But the crazy thing is, Ethereum bounced back from that setback. And now look at us. We've got these ETFs popping up left and right.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's like a sign that institutional investors are finally starting to take Ethereum seriously.
It's like they're saying, okay, maybe this crypto thing isn't just a fad after all.
So what are these ETFs all about?
Well, basically, they're making it way easier for everyday investors to get in on the ETH action.
Yeah, no more messing around with shady exchanges or worrying about losing your private keys.
Exactly. You can just buy shares of an Ethereum ETF on a regular stock exchange, just like you would buy stocks of Apple or Tesla.
It's all about accessibility and regulation.
Which is huge for attracting a wider range of investors.
But let's be real, with any investment, there are risks.
No, absolutely. We're not just here to pump you up. We're here to give you the whole picture.
So let's dive into the potential downsides of these ETFs.
Okay, so spot Ethereum ETFs, which directly track the price of ETH, they're still vulnerable to the wild swings of the crypto market.
You know, crypto can be super volatile.
Yeah, like 1 minute you're up, the next minute you're down. It's a roller coaster.
And then there's the whole regulatory landscape, which is, let's be honest, it's a bit of a mess.
It's constantly changing, and the SEC in particular has been pretty hesitant about spot Ether ETFs paying dividends from staking.
Yeah, they're still trying to figure out how to regulate all this stuff. It's like they're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
Totally.
This whole staking thing is definitely adding another layer of complexity.
For sure.
Imagine having an ETF that potentially generates passive income from your ETH holdings. That's a concept that's making some folks in suits a little uneasy.
Yeah, it's definitely challenging the traditional financial system.
Okay, so we've talked about spot Ethereum ETFs, but they're also futures-based Ethereum ETFs.
Right, it's important to understand the difference.
So spot ETFs are like a direct line to ETH. They track the price of the cryptocurrency itself. Futures-based ETFs, on the other hand, they invest in ETH futures contracts, which are basically agreements to buy or sell ETH at a specific price on a specific date in the future.
It's kind of like placing a bet on where the price of ETH will be down the line.
Right, so futures-based ETFs can be a bit riskier because you're not actually buying ETH, you're betting on its future price.
But they also offer the potential for higher returns.
So it's all about figuring out which type of ETF aligns with your risk appetite and investment goals.
Exactly.
But of course, there's always the OG way to invest in Ethereum, buying ETH directly on a crypto exchange.
Yeah, going straight to the source.
So you have full control over your ETH, but you're also responsible for its security.
It's like choosing between having a personal chef cook your meals versus ordering takeout. Both can satisfy your hunger, but there are trade-offs.
Right, so investing directly gives you the freedom to move your crypto around, use it on different platforms.
And even participate in DeFi protocols.
But you've also got to be your own security guard.
Make sure those private keys are locked up tight.
Lost keys are the ultimate crypto nightmare. All right, let's switch gears for a sec and talk about the epic rivalry, Ethereum versus Bitcoin.
Ah, the classic showdown.
They're often pitted against each other like some kind of crypto cage match.
It's like the Coke versus Pepsi of the crypto world.
But here's the thing, they both bring something different to the table.
It's like comparing apples and oranges, both fruits, but with distinct flavors and uses.
Yeah, so Bitcoin is often seen as digital gold, like a store of value.
While Ethereum is more like a decentralized computer that can run all sorts of applications.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
So Bitcoin's blockchain is pretty limited in what it can do.
While Ethereum's programmable blockchain has given birth to this massive ecosystem of apps.
It's like the difference between a flip phone and a smartphone. Bitcoin can handle transactions.
Ethereum can host everything from games and social networks to financial tools and even digital art.
And here's where it gets interesting. To use these dApps on Ethereum, you have to pay gas fees.
Think of it like paying a toll to use a highway.
Yeah, it's the price you pay for the convenience and functionality of this revolutionary technology.
The more congested the network gets, the higher the tolls.
But Ethereum has been working on some pretty cool upgrades to address this, like the switch to proof of stake. Remember all those energy-guzzling miners?
Oh, yeah.
Well, proof of stake replaces them with validators who stake their ETH to secure the network.
Which is way more sustainable and efficient.
And it's already had a positive impact on Ethereum's energy consumption.
Big time.
And they're not stopping there. They're also tackling the issue of scalability with upgrades like sharding.
And dank sharding.
Which are basically ways to break down the blockchain into smaller pieces so that transactions can be processed faster and cheaper.
It's all about making Ethereum more user-friendly and able to handle the growing demand.
Imagine a world where Ethereum transactions are lightning fast and practically free. That's the vision.
It's a pretty awesome vision.
But we got to be realistic. Ethereum still faces challenges, like competition from other blockchains.
Oh yeah, there are always new contenders emerging.
And of course, the ever-evolving regulatory landscape.
It's a wild west out there.
But that's what makes it so exciting. We're witnessing the birth of a new era of technology.
And Ethereum is right at the forefront. As you know, PKT is our sponsor, so if you don't have PKT in your wallet, then you're basically blowing it at life. Harsh facts, I know. You can buy it on Uniswap or swap ETH on Base for it directly in your Coinbase or MetaMask wallet. This project was at a $400 million market cap, and today it's trading at 1/10 of a penny. I don't have enough fingers to do that math, but there is insane potential with this token. ETH is looking ripe to pop, and historically, everything on the ETH or Base blockchain usually pops with it. This is not financial advice, just a word to the wise. Go to pkt.cash to learn more. Make sure you join their Telegram and ask questions. The team is great and all doxed. Now, back to the show. So before we jump into those listener questions, there's one more thing we got to talk about.
Okay, lay it on me.
The flippening. You've probably heard that term thrown around in the cryptoverse.
Yeah, it sounds kind of intense. Like, is Ethereum gonna, take over the world?
World domination. Maybe not quite, but flippening refers to the idea that Ethereum's market capitalization could actually surpass Bitcoin's.
Wait, hold on. Back up a sec. Market cap. Can you remind us what that is again?
Sure thing. Market cap basically represents the total value of all the coins of a particular cryptocurrency in circulation.
Got it. So the flippening would mean that the total value of all ETH in circulation would be greater than all the Bitcoin out there.
Exactly. It would be a pretty symbolic event, for sure. It would kind of show that Ethereum has gone from being the underdog to, the top dog in the crypto world.
So is this, a likely scenario? Could Ethereum actually flip Bitcoin?
It's definitely possible. Ethereum has a lot going for it. It's got this incredible developer community, a ton of innovation happening on the platform, and it's really driving the growth of things like decentralized finance and NFTs.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
And Bitcoin is, it's Bitcoin. It's the OG, but it's also kind of limited in terms of what it can do.
So you're saying Ethereum has more room to grow?
Potentially, yeah. But, it's crypto. Anything could happen. No one knows for sure.
True that. Okay, so let's bring it back to those ETFs. How do you think those are going to impact the price of ETH?
Well, we saw what happened when those Bitcoin ETFs finally launched.
Yeah, things went a little crazy for a while.
Exactly. Bitcoin's price went up quite a bit. So it wouldn't be surprising to see a similar bump for ETH when more of these ETFs become available.
Makes sense. More investors jumping in, more demand for ETH, and potentially a higher price.
Yeah, that's the general idea. But of course, it's never that simple, right?
Oh, never.
There are always other factors to consider, like what if a bunch of big ETH holders decide to sell off their stash after the ETF launches? That could create some downward pressure on the price.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's like a game of tug of war between the bulls and the bears.
Exactly. But hey, I'm still optimistic about Ethereum's long-term prospects. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm in it for the tech, not just for the price swings. And Ethereum is it's constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
For sure. It's like Ethereum is kind of the foundation for this whole new digital world that's being built.
Totally. And all those crazy things we were talking about earlier, like NFTs and DeFi, they're all built on Ethereum. That's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It's like we're just scratching the surface of what this technology can do.
Okay, but we can't talk about all this serious stuff without taking a little detour into the fun zone, right?
Oh yeah, gotta keep things light.
So remember those crypto punks?
Oh man, those little pixelated avatars. Yep. Classic.
Those were like the OG NFTs, right?
Yeah, they were some of the first NFTs that really caught on. And they were actually built on Ethereum too, like back in 2017 when NFTs weren't even a thing yet.
And now look at us. NFTs are everywhere.
It's pretty crazy how far they've come in such a short time.
Okay, but seriously, how did we go from those simple little pixelated punks to like NFTs for everything?
It's kind of mind-blowing, right? But I think it shows that people are really starting to understand the power of digital ownership and how blockchain technology can be used to verify authenticity and create scarcity.
Yeah, I read somewhere that companies like Toyota are even starting to explore using Ethereum for things like supply chain management and tracking car parts.
Yeah, that's the thing about Ethereum. It's not just about finance or even art anymore.
It's like Ethereum is infiltrating all these different industries.
It's pretty exciting to see how it's being used to solve real-world problems.
And the crazy thing is, All of this is happening while governments are still trying to figure out how to regulate crypto.
It's a wild ride for sure.
Okay, I think we've kept our listeners waiting long enough.
Let's get to those questions.
Hit us with your crypto curiosities, folks. Okay, let's dive right into these listener questions. You guys never disappoint with your crypto curiosity.
Hit us with your best shot. We're ready.
All right, first up, we've got Crypto Craze 420 asking, will Ethereum hit $10,000 in 2025? Bold prediction. Crypto Craze. What do you think?
That's a tough one. Ethereum has definitely seen some impressive price runs in the past, but trying to predict crypto prices is a bit like trying to predict the weather, right? There are just so many factors involved.
Like a lot of things could happen between now and then.
Exactly. Market sentiment can change in a flash. Regulations are a wild card. And who knows what kind of technological advancements we'll see in the next couple of years. It's impossible to say for sure.
True. It's all part of the crypto roller coaster, I guess. Okay, next question comes from Degen Trader 69. They're wondering, is it better to invest in Ethereum directly or through an ETF? Classic crypto conundrum.
Yeah, it's a question that comes up a lot. And honestly, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It really depends on your individual circumstances and your risk tolerance.
So, what are some of the things people should consider when making that decision?
Well, for starters, if you're comfortable navigating crypto exchanges, managing your own private keys, and maybe even dabbling in DeFi, then buying ETH directly might be a good option for you. But if you prefer a more hands-off approach, like the kind of regulatory oversight you get with traditional financial products, and you're okay with paying a small management fee, then an ETF could be a better fit.
So it's like a trade-off between control and convenience.
Exactly. It's like choosing between building your own computer and buying one that's already assembled. Both have their pros and cons.
Awesome. Okay, last question for today comes from HODL Queen. They want to know, what's the next big thing for Ethereum? Ooh, crystal ball time.
I wish I had a crystal ball. But if I had to guess, I'd say the continued growth of the Ethereum ecosystem is definitely something to watch. We're going to see more and more innovative dApps being built, tackling real-world problems in all sorts of creative ways.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier, Ethereum is already being used in so many different industries.
Yeah.
And I think that trend is only going to accelerate.
Absolutely. I think we'll also see more businesses and organizations starting to integrate Ethereum into their operations. The potential is huge.
It's pretty mind-blowing to think how far Ethereum has come since those early days of CryptoPunks and, the whole DeFi explosion.
Yeah.
And to think it all started with that World of Warcraft character getting nerfed.
Yeah, it's an incredible story, and it's still being written.
And that, my friends, is a wrap on our deep dive into the fascinating world of Ethereum. We hope you learned a thing or two, had some laughs, and maybe even got a little inspired to explore the power of ETH for yourselves.
Remember, knowledge is power, especially in this crazy world of crypto. So stay curious, do your research, and invest responsibly.
And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to The Deep Dive for more epic crypto adventures. We'll catch you next time.